Two things today. So Heather mentioned the hospital indemnity, and then I'm going to be covering the affordable choice a little bit later on in the presentation. And I know, as she mentioned, we're going to be recording it, so we can get that out to everybody who wasn't able to attend. I'm just going to give you some brief information about Manhattan Life as we go through. We'll kind of give you some industry things that are happening in the industry. So I'm going to turn my camera off for right now. I will come back on at the end. But again, I appreciate everybody here joining us. So Manhattan Life, we're a privately held company, which is a little bit unique in the industry today. Most companies are publicly held. So the nice thing about that is that we don't have a board of directors we need to answer to. We really view our customers as kind of twofold. One is, of course, the end user of our product. The other is the agents in the field that are selling our product. So without you guys out there selling us, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be able to do what we do here today. So we really do everything that we can to work with our distribution channels. As an example, we have, and I'm going to share some of that with you today, but we make enhancements to our products. We don't just sit back and go, hey, we've developed this product, it's good to go. We continue to add benefits to those products as we hear agents in the field sharing things with us. So because we don't have that board of directors to answer to, we really can do what we want. So I'm not saying we can do everything that's thrown our way, but we really do take it into consideration. We recently launched, as an example, our specified disease rider on our affordable choice product, and that is in due part to, again, getting that feedback from the field. We are a mid-sized company, so we're not huge, we're not small. We're very well capitalized. Gives us the ability to move more quickly than some of the other carriers out there. We're really focused on this ancillary space. So it's really where we've kind of placed our flag in the ground here. And when you look at the market today, sometimes the real big carriers that are out there, they're a little bit more focused on, and they might have ancillary products, but they're a little bit more focused on the Medicare Advantage or major medical. And I mean, it makes sense. There's a lot to do in that space to be profitable and have a product that works for the client. So sometimes those ancillary products go to the wayside. When you look at the smaller, more regional companies, they just don't have the assets of Manhattan Life. So we're really well positioned to continue to develop new product, enhance the products we currently have. And we've seen a huge amount of growth within our company, which is one of the reasons why I was brought on to help continue to grow the distribution. This is my contact information. If you want to take a snapshot, I know that this is also being recorded, but put me in your phone. You'll forget my name. I won't take it personal, but if you put Manhattan Life in there, if you need something, this is where I can add value to you. So, when everything's going well, you're probably not going to remember my name. But if something falls off the rails and you need somebody to help you along the way, this is really where I can add value to your day-to-day. Now, I will tell you, many of the front-facing managers here at Manhattan Life have sat across the table from clients, so we really know what you deal with day in and day out. That's why everything that we do is really designed around that agent experience. I believe service has always been at the forefront of any successful business. But really never have I felt it's more important than today. Innovation, technology, all of these things are really necessary in today's environment. But there's a cost to relying on that solely alone. So again, when something happens, you've got my contact information. I will also introduce you to our ACES team a little bit later in the presentation so that you know where to go if you do need help. Just a couple things as we go through this. So if you do have questions or comments, feel free to throw those in the chat. We'll make sure that at the end of each section, we spend a few minutes to go through those. I want to make sure that you've got as much information as you possibly can get to make you feel comfortable with what we're doing here today. Don't feel like you got to be proficient in shorthand. Again, we're recording this here. Just as far as additional training, so If you are currently an agent with us, if you go into the Agent Resource Center, you can. We do national trainings every Tuesday and Thursday. So myself or one of the other RVPs delivers those trainings at 2 p.m. Central, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you can always register for those to get some additional training. We kind of move through all of our different products throughout the course of the months, so that we're not just training on the same thing. We also have a very robust part of our we have a very robust training resource center in our agent portal, so you can always go and access those. Those are pre-recorded trainings on any of our products. So really design that experience that works best for you, and get that training whenever you need it. These are the products. So I just want to make a quick mention of some of the products that we have. So we're going to be covering the Affordable Choice and our Hospital Indemnity Select today, but we also have a lot of other products that are available at Manhattan Life. So when it comes to, there's obviously a lot of buzz around cross-selling these days because of reduced commissions and degradation of benefits with plans. There's a lot of things that are going to be able to add value to your clients, and as well as increase your revenue streams coming in. So whether it is a cancer, heart, and stroke plan, expense, or short-term care, these are all great products to get to know. And again, we're working with Alabama Health Guidance, Paul Todd, in developing some training so that we can continue to get this information through the course of time. So probably preaching to the choir here, I just want to mention this. I mentioned cross-selling. So I think a lot of what we've seen is a lot of agents, especially over the past couple of years, really flooding into this ancillary space, and with good reason. Again, the market is kind of dictating that. We see commissions being eliminated on certain products. There's a little bit of a fear that different carriers are taking out those commissions on things like Medicare Advantage, prescription drugs. So people are looking for a way to replace those revenue streams, and the ancillary space is really a great way to do it. So not only are you increasing your revenue, but you are adding a lot to the client relationship. So what statistics have shown us is that if you sell one product in a household, on average, you'll keep that client about 30 to 35% of the time. If you sell two products in a household, you'll keep that client roughly about 60% of the time. Three or more has always been the magic number. If you sell three products in a household, you'll keep them around 85 to 92% of the time, and for 5 years on average. I really don't care what industry you come from. I worked in the banking industry for many, many years, and the statistics were very, very similar. And the reason why is you really become that subject matter expert. So along with all of the things I mentioned before with increasing your revenue stream, it's not the only thing that's happening. Becoming that subject matter expert means you're digging into that client relationship. You're finding out the concerns that they have, and you're making sure those concerns are covered. While doing that, that really ties you into that client. So think of it this way: if you've only sold one product to a client, and another agent calls that person and says, "Hey, I've got the next best thing since sliced bread," they're far more likely to move their business because of that, because there's only one product in the household. What's been shown is that when you add some additional services in there, and again, addressing those concerns, they're going to call you and say, "Hey, I just got a call from so-and-so, and they told me I'm not taking advantage of all the benefits that Medicare has to offer." Well, obviously then number one, you're the subject matter expert because they're calling you, but it allows you to explain to them what they're talking about. And it's a great time to reprofile that client because, quite frankly, needs change. Repetition is the mother of all skills. So if you're not selling these now, don't think that you're going to be great at it right when you start. It takes a little bit of time to kind of get going, but I promise you there's no secret here. Think back to the first time you sold, whether it's a Medicare Advantage or Medicare Supplement or whatever product you sell the most of. And think back to your first presentation. If you kind of draw back to that, I would bet you would say that it wasn't the best presentation, but the more you do it, the better you get. You're probably thinking, "Hey, Aaron, you're not very good at doing this," but I know the more I do it, the better I'm going to get at it. So repetition is a mother of all skill. Get out there and talk about these products. I would focus on a needs-based approach. And what I mean by that is, don't product dump. Ask questions. I always used to tell, when I was in banking, I used to tell my bankers that asking is selling, telling is not. And the reason why is that if you're communicating more than the client, you're not asking enough good questions to understand what the need is. So don't say I've got the best hospital indemnity or I've got this affordable choice. It's absolutely fantastic. Ask the clients questions about why they might need something, in particular, whether it's a hospital indemnity, cancer plan, and then fill that need with a product. Much better success while you're doing that. All right, let's get into it. Hospital Indemnity Select. That's going to be the first product. So we're going to cover what it is, who can benefit, key benefits, and optional riders that are available. We'll go through rates, application, approved states, and then I'll cover our Manhattan Direct 2.0, our electronic platform that we utilize that the vast majority of agents use to enroll their clients in that. So what is a hospital indemnity product for clients? So this is a type of insurance, a supplemental health insurance that offers a fixed cash benefit for covered services and hospital stays and medical services. Now, we do not coordinate benefits. So even if they have something in place that is going to provide them some or even potentially all of the benefit that this plan does, we don't care. We are still going to pay them based on whatever the plan was that they got when they did their application. We're still going to pay those benefits. So we don't look at it and go, well, you got X amount of dollars from this other carrier, so we're going to adjust. It doesn't work that way. It is just simply whatever the benefit is when they enrolled is the benefit that we pay out when the scenario happens. So it's specifically designed to help with offset costs as out-of-pocket expenses associated with hospitalizations, such as co-pays, deductibles, and other non-medical costs. Again, we see a lot of degradation of benefits happening through the industry here. What an interesting statistic that I always tell people is that statistically, 3 out of 5 personal bankruptcies in the U.S. are a direct result of medical expenses. So if you think about that, that statistic in itself is crazy high. But what I find more interesting is that 78% of those individuals had traditional health plans in place. So what does that mean? All plans can't be all things to all people. That's why this ancillary market was really born. That's why these products have become so popular. Because as carriers redesign their plans, they are pushing more of the cost to the individual end user. And so these products really can help to offset those costs. So who can benefit? We've got individuals with the high deductible health plan, individuals on an ACA, of course, seniors on Medicare or with a Medicare Advantage plan, and then individuals without comprehensive coverage or self-employed individuals. So this particular plan has issue ages from 18 to 89. So it's got a very wide range of issue ages, just like most of our products do. So we do see the younger generations utilizing this as well. So traditionally, these have been designed for those Medicare Advantage, but a type clientele. But again, because of the changes in the market and plans and increases in costs in that under 65 space, we see a lot more people under that 65 picking up these plans. Now, that being said, we do have guaranteed issue ages for 64 and a half to age 70. So we're not going to ask any questions to those individuals that are between 64 and a half to age 70. No waiting periods to access those benefits. Rates do not increase as you age. So all of our products at Manhattan Life are what they refer to as issue age rated. So what that means is the price that when you get the product at the age that they're at is going to be the price that they pay as long as they stay on that product. The only product that we have that isn't issue age rated is our home health care, which is 5-year age banded, which is really industry standard for that type of product. Everything else is issue age rated. So of course, when it comes to these types of products, it's always in the best interest of the client to get it while they're younger. They're guaranteed renewable for life. We've got individual and spouse, individual and children, and family rates that are available for your clients. All right, let's talk about key benefits. So all of these things that we're going to discuss next are part of the key benefits. We have got for the hospital confinement issue ages 18 to 64 and a half. It is a 1 day, your first day hospitalization. You can get anywhere from $50 to $10,000 in benefit for that first day hospitalization. So the thing to remember here, and I'll kind of give you an example of this, is as soon as they turn 64 and a half, they move to the second set of plans. So anywhere from $50 to $750 a day, and there's 3, 6, or 10-day benefit. The reason why I mention this is very simple. I'm going to give you a quick example. Let's say you've got somebody that is, we'll just call it 64, exactly 64 and a half. They're aging into Medicare. They decide on getting the 10-day, and they max out the daily benefit of $750. So if they were confined to a hospital for 10 days, they're gonna get back in their pocket $7,500. But if you start working with your clients, when I sold Medicare, a lot of times the first initial conversations I had with the client usually was, honestly, as they were turning 64, they're kind of getting ready for it, wanting to know what they do, wanting to know what they need to do in order to get ready for Medicare. And as you have that discussion and conversation, and they're still eligible for that first day benefit, think about a 1 day benefit of $7,500. You can do the same thing, but on that first day hospitalization, they can get that full amount available to them. But as soon as they turn 64 and a half, we go to that guaranteed issue, and that option is no longer available to them. So just remember that, because it's a great way to connect with them and really solidify yourself as that agent of record or the person that they're going to continue to do business with as time goes along. So kind of a nice little tip there.
Aaron?
Yes.
Can I interrupt on this? This plan, going back, this plan is one of the best plans to sell for a bronze plan, because I can set that up. If their bronze deductible is $8,500 and they go in the hospital, does it have to be 24 hours? They get that, so they pay their deductible.
Yeah.
So someone in the 60s is about $50 a month. This is the perfect plan to sell with ACA bronze. Perfect.
And thanks for adding that, Paul. And just to mention that, again, issue age rated, right? So their premium's not going to change. And when they turn Medicare age, we are not going to kick them off this plan. So it doesn't really matter what plan that they get. Obviously, traditionally speaking, this has been more geared towards Medicare Advantage when you look at that 3, 6, and 10-day options. But if I'm only paying, $50 a month, as Paul mentioned, and I can get $7,500 or $8,500 for that benefit on my first day of hospitalization, likelihood of me keeping that product is pretty good. So again, we're not going to kick them off and say, hey, you got to go to the 3, 6, and 10-day option because you're now of Medicare age. They get to keep that product. So thanks for the ad, Paul. Other key benefits here, these are, again, all part of the base policy. We've got mental health confinement up to 7 days for $175 a day, short duration hospital stay, sometimes referred to as observation care. For ages 18 to 64, it's going to pay 25% of that daily benefit. And ages 65 to 89 is going to pay 100% of that daily benefit on the policy. We've got emergency room or urgent care, $150 per visit, payable up to 6 times per calendar year. We don't care if it's for accident or sickness. Some carriers are only going to pay if it is sickness. They're not going to pay for accident. Again, we don't care on that. And then we've got ambulance benefits, $200 a day, up to 4 times per calendar year, with a lifetime of 15 transports. Now, all of these next things that I'm going to talk about are part of our optional riders that can be added for an additional premium. First day hospital admission, payable up to $750, payable up to 6 times per calendar year. Now, this is only going to be eligible for those clients age 65 and above. It's not available for those under 65 because, again, their first day hospitalization amount usually is a pretty nice chunk of change. But for the ones on Medicare, this certainly can go a long way. We've got the skilled nursing facility, 2 coverage options available on this. This was actually one of the things that we just increased. So for skilled nursing facility, again, they've got two options. We increased the coverage on this up to $250 a day, so they can get option one is it's going to pay 100, 150, 200, or $250 per day for days 1 through 50 if they're confined to a skilled nursing facility. And then option two is 100, 150, 200, or $250 per day for days 21 through 100 if they're confined to a skilled nursing facility. So again, as I mentioned, we continue to make enhancements. This was just increased recently, again, simply because we saw the need for it as skilled nursing facility amount copays go up. We wanted to be able to cover that. So we also have the outpatient surgical procedure payable up to $1,000 2 times per calendar year. They have, and I'm sorry, we also updated this, so I've got to get a new slide on that one because this is up to $1,500 now. So again, it used to be up to $1,000, but we added $1,250 and $1,500 available on this particular product. So this product does have a bill chart. This is referenced in the agent guide. Not something that you're going to need to memorize, but I just wanted you to know that it is there. We do have a bill chart for this, male and female, height and weight. It's just useful for you to know where to go and pull this. It shows the minimums and maximums available to be eligible for the product. They're putting their children on this plan. We have a bill chart for them as well. It's going to outline it based on their age in each section. So height, weight, height and weight minimums and maximums there. So as far as what I want to just draw your attention to on this page is if you're covering more than one individual, we are going to use the oldest applicant on the application for pricing. So if there is a pretty good gap in age and you sometimes it does make sense to have them each have their own individual policy, you can do that. We're not going to stop you from doing that. So just wanted you to be aware of that. Other thing here is this product is guaranteed renewable for life. So they can keep using it as long as they continue to pay the premiums. And how it works is once they go off of claim, they have to stay off claim for 60 days, and then the policy will restore back to day one coverage. So let's say, just for an example, for whatever reason, they're hospitalized every January 1st for the remainder of their life. They're going to be able to continue to use this product every single time because there's certainly much more than 60 days in between the claim period that they'll be able to re-engage this policy. These are the states we are currently at, so pretty good spread here. Again, so if there's, I know most of you guys are in those southern states, but if there are any states here that you do sell in and you have any questions about, you can feel free to go ahead and shoot me a message. Happy to tell you, just kind of where we're at. We continue to add states to this product availability. So sometimes I have information on where we're at with a particular state or for that fact, if we're going to have a challenge getting into a particular state. So our quoting and enrollment tool is accessed right through the Agent Resource Center. It's called our Quote and Enroll or Manhattan Direct 2.0. So once you log into the Agent Resource Center, there's a button right there that's going to say Quote and Enroll. You click on that, that takes you into the system. Our system kind of works like an Amazon shopping cart. So we use, so when you put in the zip code and the date of birth, it's going to automatically populate all the products that are available for that client in that market. So there's not a lot of guesswork that you have to do there. It's going to really guide you to those. And then you can sell multiple products in one session. So again, as cross-selling becomes more and more common amongst agents, I just want you to know that we really make it as easy as we can to use the system. When you're selling a hospital indemnity, we have something called a Medicare Advantage mapping tool. So if they're going on a Medicare Advantage, you can literally choose the plan. There'll be a drop down that they can choose of the actual product that they're in. So let's say it's Blue Cross Blue Shield. HMO, you pick that plan, and what our system is going to automatically do is fill the gaps within that plan. So there's really no guesswork that you have to do. It's going to automatically do that. Now you can adjust it, no problem. If there's, if it's a little bit too expensive for them, we're not going to make them have that particular plan, but it will fill those on its own. On the right-hand side of the screen, it's literally going to tell you what those out-of-pocket expenses are. So again, you don't have to access and go back and go, okay, I don't remember exactly. I mean, you deal with a lot of different plans. You're not going to remember every single plan's out-of-pocket expenses. Our system will tell you what it is on their plan, and then again, give you the options in which to fill it on the left hand with the in the quoting tool. Signature options. So we use mother's maiden name. I don't think it gets any easier than that. So I can tell you, when I talk to agents, some of them have had the same experience I had when I was working with clients, which is you talk to somebody, you get the product picked, you send them that application via email to sign, you're waiting for that signature, you don't see it come through, you follow up with them and you say, hey, I sent you that, see it come through. They go, yeah, I looked in my inbox, but I didn't see it. And I go, did you check your spam folder? What's a spam folder? Well, right then and there, if you've had this experience, you're probably chuckling because it's going to take you a little bit of time to walk them through that if they don't know what a spam folder is. Not everybody has the same amount of acuity when it comes to these types of systems. So we try to make it easy. It's just mother's maiden name. You're asking them what their mother's maiden name is. You're typing it into the system. That completes the signature. That's as easy as it gets. There's nothing for them to look for. There's nothing for them to click on. So ease of doing business is really, really important to us. And we know it's important to you as agents. So I am going to, I'll talk about our ACEs team real quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch gears and we can see if there's any questions on our hospital indemnity before I go into the affordable choice. So I mentioned to you before that we have an absolute fantastic team, our ACEs team we don't TPA anything. So everything that we do is in-house. This team is out of Houston, Texas. So you probably figured with a name like Manhattan Life that we are based out of Houston, Texas. But that's where we're based out of, Houston, Texas. We have also another support team that is in Salt Lake City, Utah. You can reach them by dialing 800-369-3600. They're there Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then Friday, 8 to 2 p.m. Central Time to answer any questions. Really what our goal is with our agent sales support team is to provide you with that very first touch point to be able to reach out and talk to somebody, walk you through anything from accessing the Agent Resource Center, product knowledge, using the quote and enroll tool. Really, they're the quarterback of Manhattan Life. They're absolutely fantastic. We just feel that human touch is far better than having to wait for a response. But we also understand there's going to be times where you are not able to reach us during our normal business hours. So you can also email them at aces@manhattanlife.com. They're very responsive through that email. A lot of times, if you might notice that an email you sent comes through at 7 a.m. or 6 or comes to you at 6 p.m. That's because when we have, the ACEs team, sometimes they show up early and they're, going through and getting their stuff done. They're going to be sending those messages as soon as they get them. They're absolutely a fantastic team. So feel free to reach out to them. Just so if anyone feels so inclined to call me for any type of tech support, I'm going to let you know now that I'm a level 1 tech. Which just simply means I can tell you to turn your machine off, turn it back on. If that doesn't resolve all of your technical issues, you will have reached the level of my knowledge and expertise, and I will have you call the ACEs team, again, at that 800-369-3600. Not that, there's a ton of issues that happen, but technology sometimes does break. But I will tell you, I implore you to become a level 1 tech because that typically does fix the issue. You can get your certification by turning your machine off and turning back on and seeing if that resolves the issue. Other than that, reach out to our ACEs team and they can certainly help you if something is going on. If they can't fix it, they will certainly get you over to another team that will. Again, infrequent, but just wanted you to know. All right, so I am going to switch gears here. Do we have any questions so far.
Before you switch, I can't emphasize enough that I sell like crazy at Hospital Indemnity Select for the bronze people. It's the best product for the bronze. And so you're telling me that they just can roll this in as the regular hospital indemnity when they turn 65. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
so that's all right. That that plan is perfect for that. And then what you're going into is our great option for people that can't afford the bronze because well they can afford it, but that's the problem. They make too much money. So they need to look at this other plan because the actual hospital cost in Alabama is only like 35 to $50,000 for someone in the hospital. So it's interesting. Anyway, that's my 3 cents. That plan is just a perfect plan for everyone in ACA, and then I guess it just rolls in nice.
It's such a great point, and it's something that I, continue to draw people's attention to because the fact that we don't, their premiums don't increase, and it's a first day option, so they don't have to, as I mentioned before, once they go to get to age 64 and a half, and they go into that guaranteed issue stage. Now they have to qualify, or they'd have to stay in the hospital for a much longer period of time. So again, there's a lot of value you're adding to that particular client by selling that in those younger years. Plus, the expense of it is so much less. And we're not, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but we don't typically see things get less expensive as time goes along. Every market's been impacted a little bit differently as far as Medicare Advantage and ACA plans, but I will tell you the vast majority of the markets, because I know there's a few that are, I would say, lagging behind. They haven't felt the impacts of some of the things that are going on across the country, but they're really few and far between. Most people have seen the degradation of benefits, increases, and certainly the increases in pricing. And this is going to continue to happen. There's things such as birthday rule states going into play. This is going to put more pressure on those Medicare supplement companies in different markets to increase their pricing, because when you lose the availability to underwrite a client, the prices are going to go up. It's the same thing that happened in the ACA, and why those premiums jumped up so much over the first few years, and they continue to rise. So having these products available, selling these when they're in those younger years is certainly going to make a huge difference to them. Now, of course, but as they also get older and move into those Medicare plans.
Let me just clarify this too, Aaron. So every 60 days, if I had someone at $8,500 on the hospital, every 60 days that they were out of the hospital, then it recharges. So if someone were to have, we'll say, cancer, they were in the hospital, they went home for 60 days, went back in for more cancer treatments, this would cover them.
If they're hospitalized for that, it would.
Every 24 hours, that they have to be in for 24 hours or however the hospital puts it, right, for one day.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
So
So
this
it's
can
got to
keep
be.
going several times throughout the year, which if they move to a Medicare Advantage plan, that would cover the max out of pocket also.
Yeah, I mean, and again, based on what Paul mentioned, and I would really, first thing, when someone turns 65, everybody and their brother is calling them, right? So they've got this influx of calls. If you start getting to these clients a little bit earlier and go through some of this, that first day option is absolutely fantastic. And again, it's first day, so not to say that the 3, 6, or 10 day isn't beneficial for them, but if you can get the full benefit on that first day, I would, who wouldn't want that? So makes sense.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Always appreciate it, Paul. Add in any time, my friend. All right. So I am going to go into